While I have been focusing on Utah Jazz videos lately, it's only fair to openly point out the shortcomings that other teams have had and their successes. As such, I have to point out what Pat Riley and the Miami Heat have done and failed to do this offseason. Thanks for tuning into the video. As always, it's your boy Wraith Hoops. Make sure to like the videos so that the algorithm knows to push the content out to more viewers. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into this one. The Heat most famously ended up missing out on the Damian Lillard sweepstakes, even though it appeared to be a layup for them, considering the fact that Damian Lillard even went as far as to tell his agent, to tell whatever other teams were involved, that he didn't want to play for them and he would be unwilling to play for them because he wants to play for the Miami Heat. Despite this, the front office for the Trailblazers found a workaround and decided, you know what, we're going to send him to Milwaukee. That being said, that made things a bit rough for Miami because not only did they not have an upgrade at point guard, they also lost their big piece at point guard, who was Gabe Vincent, who ended up signing in free agency to the Los Angeles Lakers. As a result of this, they were still looking for a point guard, and as soon as Drew Holiday was involved in the deal and got sent to the Trailblazers, they were trying to see if they could wiggle their way in there and make something happen. Allegedly, the story goes saying that they attempted to play hardball still in this situation, but obviously Boston, the team that really needed a point guard to provide the defensive punch that they were missing after having traded Marcus Smart in the deal to get Porzingis, alongside with an upgrade as far as shooting goes and playmaking, and they were ready to unload the clip, empty the purse, and just hand out whatever they had, which ended up turning into 2 draft picks alongside Malcolm Brogdon and Robert Williams, also known as Time Lord. Now, that was kind of steep, but at the same time, it makes the most sense because Drew Holiday, you know exactly who you're getting when he touches the floor. You know what Drew Holiday is going to show up every single night. Allegedly, Pat Riley and them were not so high on either player, so they fumbled. That's the only way that you can really put it, because when you are the Miami Heat, you are expected to win. You are expected to be a good team. And with Jimmy Butler being in his early 30s, you can't really keep banking on him turning into playoff Jimmy and being a 99 overall rating every time the playoffs come around, with less and less help every year. Now, last year, obviously, he had Max Strus and Gabe Vincent step up, but there's no Max Strus or Gabe Vincent on this roster this upcoming season. So who steps up? Are you expecting Kyle Lowry to all of a sudden just turn back the hands of time and become prime Lowry? I don't think that's reasonable. There's also not that many pieces that would love to go there. We do know that Tyler Hero kept being pushed in that trade for Damian Lillard, so that kind of fractures the relationship from that standpoint. You do know that Malcolm Brogdon actually ended up being put in a lot of trade talks way before when he was on the Celtics, and having actually been traded to the Trailblazers, I could see something possibly happening where they try to bag him at the expense of Tyler Hero, and tying Tyler Hero over there alongside Anthony Simons, DeAndre Ayton, and Scoot Henderson, and Jeremy Grant would actually be a very nice rebuilding scheme. That being said, I don't think it's the most likely, and quite frankly, I don't think that they would want to send or make a deal with the Portland Trailblazers after they just lowballed them and ended up not bagging Damian Lillard. Allegedly, the Trailblazers front office was just blatantly not interested in what the Heat had to sell them, which is problematic in its own right, but you hope that going forward they've learned this lesson, because they had to learn it twice, and as the saying goes, third time is the charm. I believe that if I'm the Miami Heat and you tried to trade the boy wonder himself and he isn't absolutely just destroyed inside and hasn't just completely given up on the front office, you do try to keep him happy, and should you not continue looking to shop him, you just go ahead and try and keep Tyler Hero until things become more clear and either you can trade him or you keep him and he has another breakout season. Obviously, last year having cracked the plane to average 20 points per game for the first time in his career. I don't understand how likely that actually is, to be reasonable, because some players seem to feel and understand that being traded is part of the game and it's just a business thing. Other ones feel like they are owed more loyalty or respect, which ends up becoming problematic later on down the road. In this situation, they do need a point guard. I believe I could see them end up calling up the Utah Jazz, perhaps. Colin Sexton, I think, would be a nice addition, especially if he can improve his playmaking and cut down on the turnovers. Chris Dunn would be an interesting play to add. The Utah Jazz right now are very high on Keontae George, so he is looking to take a lot of minutes. Jordan Clarkson could also provide a scoring punch as well, but I would really actually like to see Colin Sexton on this team in particular. Off the strength of the fact that he is a scorer first, he does pass the ball, he needs to get better, he's kind of inefficient when it comes to passing. But overall, you know what you're getting from Colin Sexton. You're getting a very solid three-point shooter, you're getting a solid mid-range shooter, you're getting somebody that's going to be willing to sacrifice his body to attack the rim. He's not the greatest defender, but then again, Gabe Vincent wasn't either. He is, however, a player that is very reliable when it comes to just being tenacious when he's on the court. He's not going to back down from anybody, even when he is on the defense side of the ball, where he is less physically gifted and just isn't always the most dialed in for things. He's not just going to give zero effort on that side of the ball. And what he does end up giving up, he's going to make sure he makes it back on the other side of the ball. Obviously, that's my favorite pick for the Heat to finally go ahead and start riding the ship. But ultimately, it comes down to Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra, and the rest of that front office to decide what they want to do, what they feel comfortable with the final say being, and just where they see themselves at the end of this season and going forward, considering that they do have one of the most prolific basketball players and one of the most polarizing opinions in the person that is Jimmy Butler. He obviously is a great player. He's phenomenal. He has his series where he just goes insane and nuclear for no reason. But you don't want him to feel like he's carrying a pointless load on and on and on for the entirety of the remainder of his career with you. You want him to feel at home. You want him to feel like he can win. And even if he doesn't, you want to put the talent around him to give him the opportunity to. It's going to take a little bit of time, and it should be interesting to see what they come up with, because the Heat never stay down for long. But with that being said, go ahead and like the video so that the algorithm knows to push it out to more viewers. Go ahead and comment your thoughts down below. Subscribe, turn on those post notifications, and without any further ado, good morning, good evening, good night, no matter where you are on the globe watching. Thanks for tuning into this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.